Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Shalona McFarland here in the Philippines. And today I am going to be discussing foot detoxes. Now, what is a foot detox or a foot bath? Basically, you have a tub with, this is what makes the array work. This is the array. So this is, it's got copper and some different elements in it that swap positive and negative ions. And every cell in your body has a positive and negative aspect to it, and positive and negative ions. And that's how it attracts things like magnesium or potassium or different aspects of our food that we need in our cells. That's how our cells attract it, is with positive and negative ions. And so in our lives of eating bad things and drinking bad things and inhaling bad things, taking in toxins, injecting bad things, um, all of those toxins don't have anywhere to go, so they attach to our cells and they lock up and bind those positive and negative ions. So the purpose of the foot detox is to pull those bad toxins out of our body and out of our system. And in doing so, by flipping the positive and negative ions, it starts to pop those things off the cell by breaking that bond it has. So it's kind of like a magnet. If you have two positive ends of magnets, they're going to repel each other, right? But if you have a positive and negative, they attract. So that's the same idea with the foot detox, is these things that are stuck together on the cell, when it flips it to positive, it makes it go away. It makes it shy away from the cell. And it allows the cell to open up and attract the things that it does need. So these are really, really amazing for removing heavy metals, removing allergens sometimes, removing toxins from the blood, from the cells. So generally, when you do this, you use warm water or hot water. And what that does is that opens up the pores better. Now, here in the Philippines, I don't have a whole lot of hot water that's clean. And so, because you want to use distilled water with this. And so I get these big jugs of water, of distilled water, and I use that for my water because I want to use distilled water. I could probably warm it up. I could heat that in my pot and warm it up, but it's too hot here. So basically, you take this. I have plastic bags that I line this tub with, and it saves my tub, because otherwise your tub gets really gross. So I line it with a towel, or I'm sorry, a plastic bag. A towel's for afterwards. And I use a little bit of Epsom salts. And what did I do with the other salt? Oh, I put it back. Just a second. Didn't realize I had done that. So I use Epsom salts and a little bit of Himalayan salts. And I'm talking like maybe a teaspoon, a half a tablespoon maybe of this per tub, per treatment. And then I just take this and, lid's off, and do a few grinds of this in there as well. You don't want to use ionized salt because this is using its ions. So if you're using ionized salt, The salt in the tub is the only thing it's going to be responding to, not the ions in your body. So you want to use deionized salt, or Himalayan salt is fine. And this is Epsom salt that I'm using here. And we find that that works really well because it's got the magnesium stearate in it. And so it's actually helping to keep the magnesium in your system, which a lot of times is what's happening with muscle spasms and things like that, is you're not having the right, hi Anita, you're not having the right combination of, not chemicals, sorry, I'm having a brain fart, elements in your body. Okay, all right. So this particular one I got off of Amazon for like $100, $150. They're not terribly expensive anymore. When I first started doing these, they were very expensive. And I had lots of them in the clinic, and would use them to do detoxes on people. And it was a nice way to get rid of stuff. So you can see that this one, this is the main piece that makes it run. There's two holes there. One of them is for the ion regulator. The other one is for the plug. Okay. So when I do this, like I said, I get the trash bags, line it, put the salt in it, add the water. And when you add the water, you only want it to come up to like here. You don't want it to go over top because it won't work. So you have to make sure you leave enough room and space for your feet to be in there as well. And then you're going to want a towel for afterwards because it's gross afterwards. I did the series of pictures yesterday, so I'm not going to actually do the detox this morning on me. But it's super simple. You just sit there for 30 minutes. This, let me slide it off. There we go. This little thing here, it counts it down. You don't even have to have a timer. This automatically does it for you, which is really nice. And it's something that, I mean, I do it every day sometimes. It's not something, you have to make sure also that you have a big bottle of water that you drink while you do this, because it is pulling stuff out of your body. Sometimes you want to add electrolytes to that as well, so you make sure you're putting good things back in as you're pulling toxins out. And it's just a great way to help clean out the body, to help you feel better, give you more energy. If you're sick, it helps pull out the toxins and the crud that's making you sick. There's a lot of benefits to doing foot detoxes. I'm trying to think of some of the other big ones. So I actually do it on animals as well. And you really do. I showed you the picture series that I posted yesterday or this morning. And to show you that I start with just clean water. It's just distilled water with a little bit of salt in there. And I end with stuff that kind of looks like swamp sludge. It's gross. But it's amazing what we can pull out of our bodies. Even eating very clean, like even when I was eating like super clean and not messing up at all, it was really gross. And you know, we have so many toxins in our lives, whether it's the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking, the food we're eating, the whatever, the chemicals we're taking in, the drugs, the medicines, all of those things are toxic to our bodies. And it shows up in the foot detoxes. So it's just something that's another tool you can add to your bucket of healthy options, healthy things to do for you. This one's fairly inexpensive. You can do it at home if you want. If you don't, you can find somebody who does the foot detoxes and they'll do it for you, usually fairly inexpensively. And it's a great way to get rid of unwanted chemicals in your body and to help clear up sinusitis and allergies and lung issues. The cleanest one of these I ever saw was on my son, on Blake. The first one he did before he had asthma start in his life. It was kind of just like pea water. Like there wasn't hardly anything in there because I had been very careful raising up my boys of what they consumed. And so his was still pretty darn clean. And also like post-vaccinating, if you are a vaccinator, this can help pull out toxins. It doesn't pull out all of them, but it can help pull some of those heavy metals out that they inject in you when you get a vaccine. So it's something that can help with that as well. Alrighty guys, I hope that gives you something to think about today. I hadn't done one on detoxes in a long time because I hadn't had one and I just got it recently. So there you go. Something else to think about to add to your repertoire. And even if you do it like once a week, once a month, it's amazing what you pull out and it makes you feel so much better. It gives you so much more energy. I did mine last night, slept like a rock. So there you go. Hi, Colina. Alrighty, I will talk to you guys later, and I will be posting the video off YouTube later as well. You guys have an awesome, beautiful day. I will see everybody back home in a couple of weeks. And take care. See you next Monday. God bless.